I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, if you don't leave me alone, you're gonna have to send me home, 'cause I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator.
Classified my ass!
Government is another way to say better than you.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show.
Want the Sackheads to give you a blessing?
8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. Alright, how's everybody doing today? It is Friday, beginning of the weekend, November 6th. Of course, it's noontime. So, a quick little thing, if anybody's been reading the paper, Canada contacted the United States a couple days ago and said they would like to suspend the Keystone XL pipeline paperwork. And the White House said, no, you cannot do that. Now, after how long of a time, Obama is supposed to go out, something like 11:45. I don't know if he's gone on in the last 15 minutes or not. And he is supposed to turn down the Keystone Pipeline XL. So, he's going to turn down the pipeline that the Canadians don't want him to do now. Yeah, that sounds really... he's probably upset. Well, he didn't get to reject it. I didn't get to reject it. Yeah, whatever, you putz. Just a forewarning. I've been having a very bad pain. Yesterday, that's why I wasn't on air. And today's not doing too good. So when it comes to stupidity like that, I do not handle it all that good. And I tend to speak my mind a little bit more. So, on to the next subject. This is really... Jerry Brown used state experts to seek oil on family land. Governor Moonbeam, who is such an environmentalist and such a climate controlist that he wanted to see if he could find oil on his family land so that he can drill it. California Governor Jerry Brown used state experts to prepare a 51-page report on the prospect for oil development on his family's private land in Northern California, according to an Associated Press investigation released early Thursday morning. Senior staffs in the State Oil and Gas Regulatory Agency over at least 2 days produced a 51-page historical report and geological assessment, plus a personalized satellite image geographically and oil and gas drilling maps for the area around Brown's family ranch land near the town of Williams, the AP reported. Brown's office declined to comment, referring the AP instead to the California Division of Oil, Gas, and Geothermal Resources, which said that the agency had responded to the governor's request for information as it would have for any other citizen. That is such full of BS. I did, like any other citizen, yeah. Oil company executives and industrial executives found that hard to believe. However, they never heard of regulatory carrying out and compiling that kind of research analysts and mapping for private individuals. Roland Bain, a petroleum geologist, told the AP, anyone calling in for help is not going to get that. Others who saw the map of Brown's property praised their detail, calling them beautiful. The AP used the state's open records law to obtain the maps, as well as email correspondence confirming the governor's unusual request. So basically, as governor, he wants to make some money. And, oh, by the way, California, he made his money in oil. That's how he got so rich. Wow. That's how he became rich, is from drilling for oil, but yet he spouts his mouth off that so much about the climate and environment and how he's for it. Really. Really. This guy's... and now he's looking to drill on his own property, except the map showed up pretty much bupkis. Californians, you're really showing your stupidity when you vote idiots like this in. Sorry, sackheads, but, you know, when you have idiots like this voted in, it just, wow. Wow. It is. I had brought this up a couple weeks ago about Bernie Sanders wants an investigation into ExxonMobil. Well, the New York Attorney General has now started an investigation for possible climate change lies. We're talking 40 years ago. The New York Attorney General has begun an investigation into ExxonMobil to determine whether the company lied to the public about the rise of climate change or to the investors about how such risk might hurt the oil business. Here's one for you, you dumb idiot. How about the New York Attorney General and every other friggin' state look into the false claims and the fraud perpetuated by the global warming cult? How much money have they stolen from us? Why don't we throw charges against those people? Freaking idiots. They have stolen billions of dollars from us. Nothing to show for it. Nothing but false claims, false predictions. According to people with knowledge of the investigation, Attorney General Eric T. Schneiderman issued a subpoena Wednesday evening to ExxonMobil demanding extensive financial records, emails, and other documents. Here's the problem, he wants emails. When all this took place in the 70s, there was no email back in the 70s, you half-witted moron. The investigation focused on whether statements the company made to investors about climate risks as recently as this year were consistent with the company's own long-running scientific research. Climate change, global warming, whatever BS name you want to give it. All this is going after a company to try to pressure them into believing the false narrative, to jump online with the false narrative. We have been lied to by the so-called scientists. We have been lied to by our government. It is called Mother Nature. Again, I will give you the figures. $22.2 billion from the United States a year is spent on this false predictions. $359 billion are spent worldwide on this false information. Now, let's see where to go. Where is it? Now I'm going to go to an article real quick. I know I went over this. IPCC lead author. 25 years of failed global warming policy have made us poorer. 25 years of climate policy has made us poorer and some of us a little richer. This is Richard Toll. He is the lead environmental economist. Oh my God, I'm back to this morning. And the lead author for him. And he's talking about how nothing has changed, nothing has been done. The numbers are still the same. But a lot of money has changed hands. He lashed out again against the IPCC last year for exaggerating claims about global warming by comparing it to an apocalypse. The economist also authored articles debunking the 97% consensus claim often touted by environmentalists and politicians, namely Obama and his idiotic supporters. This is a man that works for IPCC. And he has shown the farce that has been going on. He has shown the BS that has gone on. So maybe our attorney generals need to do something about investigating those false claims. Investigating the fraud that has been going on. The stealing of Americans' money. No, these attorney generals nowadays act more like a mafia thugman. If you don't step in line, they're going to beat you down. Oh. The people said the inquiry would include a period of at least a decade during which ExxonMobil funded outside groups that sought to undermine climate science. Even as its in-house scientists are outlining the potential consequences and uncertainty to company executives. This is the biggest bullshit farce I have seen in a long time. I shouldn't say that because it keeps getting worse every single day. Every day, it gets a little bit more, a little bit more. It's the biggest farce perpetuated on the American people in a long time. And we keep losing billions of dollars over it. All right, so Anonymous has released its list of alleged KKK members. The hacker group Anonymous on Thursday released its much-anticipated trove of information about the Ku Klux Klan membership. The large data dump includes nearly 24 social media pages, alleged affiliated with the KKK, and information on nearly 400 people, including names, emails, Facebook pages, and known aliases. We consider this data dump as a form of a resistance against the violence and intimidation tactics leveraged against the public by various members of the Ku Klux Klan group throughout history. But here's the problem. You're doing an intimidation tactic right back while you wear a mask and behind a computer screen. So as much as I think you're trying to do good and everything, you're doing the same thing they did. You're doing scare tactics behind a mask. No politician or government officials were apparent in the initial review of the data, although several of the names were identified as retired law enforcement officers. Some of the names on the list have already been identified through previous pushed reports. The information on the list has not been verified by the KKK or any other independent authority. We defend free thought and free speech, said Operation KKK. The anonymous response for this operation will not support acts of terrorism and acts of hate inflicted upon the public. While the leak falls short of the promise to unmask 1,000 KKK members, the release is fairly robust, especially given the delayed release, which led some to wonder if any information was coming at all. We removed several names from the list for further investigation. We would rather have a smaller, accurate list that we are comfortable with. Oh, and at least they have some integrity that they're trying to at least make sure that the lists are legit. But I'm sorry, it's just, you're hiding behind a computer screen and a mask and complaining about people hiding behind a mask. You're breaking laws. Them, yeah, and nowadays, no, I don't think they break any laws that I know of, and I'm not a member of them, but have they in the past? Yes, they have. But you're breaking countless laws and then condemning another group. That's kind of, I don't know. I can't think today, but it just, I know they're trying to do good, but at the same time, they're breaking laws. So, I don't know. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know. What are we going to do? Well, it looks like Obama has gone out and spoken and turned down the Keystone Pipeline. Surprise, surprise. Everybody knew it was going to happen. It just, I don't know. Why do I always think this guy's going to actually have a brain? And he never does. Let's see. Trying to see if I can find any clips. No, that's not it. Well, looks like they don't have anything up yet. Oh, the idiot that went on the stabbing, the Muslim that went on the stabbing, showed he wanted revenge. Huh. That's pretty interesting. Well, remember everybody, Monday through Friday, noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on shrmedia.com and punditpress.com. You can get my take on everything that is going on that day in the news. Also, remember, Wednesday night, you can catch Reaver After Dark. That's me, again, along with Jersey Crash. The Jersey Boys will be hosting Reaver After Dark. That's 8 p.m. every Wednesday night, Eastern Standard Time, right here on shrmedia.com and punditpress.com. And don't forget to go to reverbcommonsense.com and check out the webpage and click the like on the Facebook and get up to date everything that is Reaver. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Let's see.
to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network. In a world controlled by corrupt politicians.
You got a business. You didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Catholic, stupid.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press Radio, and YouTube through the SHR Media page for a different kind of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because the truth is not always pleasant.
Hey, it's Jersey Joe from Reaver of Common Sense, and we have moved to a new night and time. Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on shrmedia.com, you will catch the Reaver of Common Sense uncensored, unfiltered, and only on shrmedia.com.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Wish I was too dead to cry, a self-affliction face, stones to throw at my masochist to which I cater. You don't need to bother. I don't need to breathe. I'll keep slipping farther. But once I hold on, I won't let go till it I was too dead to care. If indeed I cared at all, never had a voice to protest. So you fed me shit to digest. I wish I had a reason. My flaws are open season. For this I gave up trying. One good turn deserves my time. You don't need to bother. now forgotten with its memories. Tires left with cryptic entries, and you don't need to bother. I don't need to be undone. I'll keep slipping further. But once I'm done, I won't let go till it bleeds. You don't need to bother. I don't need to be undone. I'll keep slipping further. But once I'm done, never let down my deceit.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. Ugh. Alright. That was a mad rush during the break. I love when more cables come in. More cables and electronics. That's what I need in my life. More electronics. Now, just some cables came in and try to hook those up really quick. We'll see how this all works out. If not, I'm going to be doing a mad dash next commercial. We'll see. Alright. So we were talking about Anonymous. They released the list. It's not impressive or the major release everybody was expecting. Everybody was expecting, all these politicians to be on it, and I think I only saw one. One that everybody knew was a KKK guy. I don't know. It's a bunch of guys which they're trying to do good. So did the Klan think they were trying to do good. They weren't. Said trying. Behind mask. They do it behind sheets. It's one man's crusade is another man's illegal activity. I guess it would be the best to put it. I don't know. Alright, this one is starting to really tick me off. Quentin Tarantino is doubling down and still going on how cops are murderers. Tarantino doubles down on cop hate, claims white supremacy, problem in the United States. This is from a man that makes millions of dollars from very violent movies. His last big one was Django Unchained, and man, it had the N-word more than it had anything else in it. And but yet he's going to stand up there. And then he was also talking how the people that are calling for boycott on his movies, they are interfering with his First Amendment right. But at the same time, that is their First Amendment right. So you're complaining about their First Amendment right infringing on your First Amendment right. No, they're just saying they don't want certain people, or they are calling for people not to go to it because of your outburst. You have the right to say what you want, but the consequences that come upon it are what other people don't realize. First Amendment right, yeah, say what you want, but there is consequences for what you say. And it's the government that doesn't have the right to suppress your First Amendment rights. I can tell you to shut up anytime I want. It doesn't mean you have to listen, but... And it really annoys me, and it burns my backside, besides a 3-foot flame, is he jumped in on this protest. And the protest was already pissing me off. I mean, it was 3-4 days after a cop just got murdered. Yeah. If it would have been reversed, where something happened to one of their guys, and, you know, there was going to be a big to-do about it, 4 days after, you'd be screaming and asking, where's your sensibility and all this other crap? No, you just go out there and do what you want. And that's what this is a bunch of people who have no self-responsibility. They do not think they need to pay for their actions. They can do and say whatever they want, but no one else can. I know I will not be watching another one of his movies. I'm going to have to start writing the list down because I'm going to start forgetting all these idiots that are making the list. Jim Carrey, I have yet to watch a movie. I liked his movies. I will not watch a single one of his movies ever again. There's a couple others that I can't think of right now, and that's my own personal list, and I don't expect anybody to do the same. So, breaking news on New York Post. Obama is killing the Keystone Pipeline. I find it funny if Obama is killing. You know, that pipeline's been dead a long time ago. Long time ago. So, let's see where we're at. Billionaire who funded same-sex marriage endorses Rubio. The endorsement of Senator Marco Rubio by pro-same-sex marriage hedge fund billionaire Paul Singer just might turn social conservatives away from Rubio and towards someone like Ted Cruz. This might be good for Rubio's bank account, but could be nettlesome for him in the run up to the primary seasons, dominated in part by social conservatives. It gives me pause because Singer has a deep commitment to flipping the Republican Party on gay marriage, and he undoubtedly knows more. I get so distracted by shiny things, and my phone just lit up with this shiny thing, and of course it made me look. Alright. Now I'm totally lost. He undoubtedly knows more than we do about what Rubio is saying privately about the First Amendment Defense Act, said influential activist and thinker Maggie Gallagher of the American Principle Project in the Pulse 2016 blog. Holy snikes, is that long. Gallagher told Brett News we should not make Rubio responsible for all his donors' views. Well, when you got someone that big of a donor, yeah, you got to worry about it because he is going to be influencing. Very much so. Very, very, very much so. Oops. Sorry, wrong button. Oh, so much fun hitting wrong buttons here and there. Trying to set it up for the next commercial when I hit the wrong button. Not that I'm looking forward to the next commercial or anything, just, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, she is not alone in voicing concern. Peter Wolfgang, an activist who runs the influential Family Institute of Connecticut Action, told Breitbart News, I like Marco Rubio, and I think he is one of the best candidates for other reasons. Listen, I'm in his district. I don't like him. He's been an absentee senator. Absentee. I just, there's something in my gut that says no about him. Most definitely. Definitely, Judge Wapner. Oh, I need to watch that movie again soon. What's going on? So, what I would like, actually, I would love some feedback from my listeners that listen to my show Wednesday night with my new co-host, and tell me what you think and whether you like it or hate it. Either way, throw me some information. I would more than appreciate it. Trying to go different pages. I'm loving this new computer. It does so good. I don't want to give it too many compliments because I know what will happen. All right. Obamacare risk fund nearly depleted, S&P warns. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Oh boy. A key Obamacare program intended to cushion health insurers from high costs is facing a massive cash shortage going into 2016, Standards & Poor's said Thursday. Under the so-called Risk Corridor program, the Obama administration charges insurers with more than expected profits and redistributes the money to plans with losses. In the first 2 years of the healthcare law, more insurers than expected have ended up with balance sheets in the red. As a result, the risk pool now has only about $1 to cover every $10 in claims. Ow. Wow. $1 to cover $10. But it's such a good idea. Oh, you know, this Obamacare, man, doesn't everybody feel much safer and better? Federal health officials had expected a rough few years after new rules that said insurers couldn't reject customers with pre-existing condition, adding more risk to the marketplace. And now I'm seeing something about they're not going to be covering cancer patients. Wow. This thing is dying. This program is dying. Did it do some good? Yeah, people who didn't have insurance, some, now have insurance. And those that have insurance don't have insurance. That is just... Oh, what kind of idiot? The Reinsurance Risk Fund, which compensates plans for high-cost enrollees, had $80 million left at the end of 2014. The Obama administration has not yet said how or if it will bolster the risk fund. Yeah, I don't see him doing really squat. He's going to be out of office in a year. And he's going to let it dwindle down. If we get a Republican president, and I think there's a majority in both houses, we're going to get a new type of health care. This is going to go bye-bye. Do I agree that it's going to have to be replaced with something else? Yes, I do. I do understand that. Once we have it, we now have to have it. So, we should have known something majorly was up, and a lot of people pointed out when Pelosi stood up there, if you want to know what's in it, you're going to have to pass it. Right there, that should have been, everybody should have been calling, going, no, we want to know what's in it before we pass it. And the state of government, everybody's complaining about the state of government. We've allowed it. Yes, we have allowed the government to get to this point. All right. It is that time. Yeah. Total brain fart again today. Remember, every Monday through Friday, noon to 1 p.m., you can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show right here on shrmedia.com and punditpress.com, hosted by none other than me, Jersey Joe. Don't also forget Wednesdays. Wednesdays is a special night. We have Reaver After Dark. That's right. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on shrmedia.com and punditpress.com. You will catch Reaver After Dark, hosted by the Jersey Boys. I have taken on a new co-host. Let's see how much trouble we can get into. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Jersey Joe.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network. In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough with a stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press Radio, and YouTube through the SHR Media page for a different kind of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because the truth is not always pleasant.
Hey, it's Jersey Joe from Reaver of Common Sense, and we have moved to a new night and time every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on shrmedia.com. You will catch the Reaver of Common Sense uncensored, unfiltered, and only on shrmedia.com.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Myself up off the floor. One more drink and nervous breakdown, then another war. Oh, you can never get too low when you're so damn high. Oh,
blessed hell ride.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. That's right. I am the host. So, where are we at? There we are. Yeah, I'm not exactly with it today. No, I'm not. Well, we're in the last segment, the home stretch. But the one thing I want to bring up, and I haven't said it in a while, listen, for my listeners, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, and I made it so easy. Just go to the reaverofcommonsense.com page. On the right-hand side, it says contact, like the top-ish, and just hit that contact, fill it out, and send me emails. Tell me what you want to talk about. Tell me if you disagree with me on something. You know, just don't say, I disagree. Boom. You know, tell me why you think I'm wrong on something. I would love to hear from you guys. I haven't heard from anybody in a little while, and I haven't brought that up in a little while. So, love me, hate me, want me fired. Hey, send me everything. And if you don't want to go there, it's Jersey Joe at reaverofcommonsense.com. So, but if you're on my webpage, remember, hit that little button to the left that says like. It'll keep you up to date on Facebook with everything going on Reaver-wise. Now that we got that out of the way, and everybody knows one of my shows on, it's Monday through Friday. So I'm also, broadcasting live on shrmedia.com, of course, punditpress.com, and I don't know, there's a couple more that I'm simulcasted through that I don't remember. Also, I have the next day feed. I am on Rebooting Liberty now. I want to give them a little shout out. I appreciate that they wanted me on their show. I'm sure if they heard today's show, they would not be asking me. Hey, everybody has a bad day here and there. So, let's see. Democrats push for gun control research. Okay. I know there's this whole the gun violence thing that's going around that they think is a gun problem, and they're really trying to push it and everything. And let's look at history on something. Every time they've tried to do gun control, what happens to the Democrats? they lose seats. Right now, if you looked at a chart, and it's funny to see this, but the Republicans are on an upward swing, including, I was worried about a downward swing, to tell you the truth. I was. But now this doesn't guarantee anything. We need people to get out and vote this coming election. They talk about how their constituents are the young votes. They really only come out during the presidential election. Let's really overflow them with Republican votes. Let's show them who really is in charge of this country, who is the majority of this country. Because I'll tell you what, they think they are the majority. They scream the loudest, so they think they are the majority. Let's stand up and show them. If you're tired of the BS that has been going on for the last 6.5 years, almost 7 years, let's stand up next election and show them. Just go out and vote. Get out and vote in masses. And I know there's a lot of young people out there that do not back this Democrat bullshit. I know there's a young crowd out there that is more conservative. But they feel they've been pushed away. They don't feel that they would fit in with the Republican Party. Well, let me tell you, if I can fit in, anybody can. I am 6 foot, almost 300 pounds. I'm a big guy. Bald head and tattoos. I look like a biker. But I am a conservative. And you know what? It surprised me, but I wasn't exactly frowned upon like I thought I would. There is a major movement of us youngers that don't fit the stereotype of a conservative. So what? So what? We don't dress up in 3-piece suits. So what? We don't have these perfect haircuts and no tattoos. That doesn't belittle our political ideology. And that's one thing that Democrats have to get through, the Republicans have to get through their head. Yesterday's Republicans, on the outward appearance, is gone. It's not there anymore. Or very little. But I'm not going to belittle someone because they do want to dress in a suit and tie all the time. Hey, that's their preference. Hey, you do what you want. That's what this country's about. Doing what you want to do. Your freedom. That doesn't mean going out and committing crimes. I'm talking within the law, doing what you want to do. Doing what feels best for you. Expressing yourself how you want to, the way you dress. At work, I'm not talking work, because work, you have to look professional. But in your personal life, as long as you're not breaking any laws, that's all I care. You're not interfering with my life, I don't care what you do. It's your freedom. And the Democrats are pushing the gun violence issue again when they know every time they do, they lose more seats. So they're already in a downward spiral. They are in a downward spiral. Hillary Clinton is showing as the top nominee. But then when you look at matchups, she loses just about every single election. We have Martin O'Malley sitting up there. Just in case you don't know who that is. He is a Democrat candidate for president. And he said first thing he'll do is ignore a lot of the gun regulations. He will give executive orders mandating that you can sue the gun manufacturers, the ammo manufacturers. Let me give you a little story. Most people on my show that listen to my show know my father was shot. This goes back into the 80s. Now, back then, the lawyer told us we kind of had the right to sue the manufacturers. My father turned around and said, for what? Well, you were shot with that gun. My father said, yeah, and the manufacturer didn't do anything. The bullet company didn't do anything. They have a job. They make ammunition. They make guns for people. But if people are going out and doing illegal things, it doesn't make them responsible. It does not make them responsible for someone going on a mass shooting. We do not go after Ford, Chevy, or any of the other manufacturers for drunk drivers. Why are we going to go after gun manufacturers for a mass shooting that they had no control over? And don't give me, you can't compare guns. Cars have a purpose for driving. Yeah, guns are meant for defense. Guns are there to help protect yourself. What do we have? We just had a Muslim go nuts and go on a stabbing spree at a college. A knife. It doesn't matter what the weapon of choice is. If someone has malice in their heart, they are going to inflict that malice, no matter what. Sarnak brothers. Geez, look at that. Pressure cooker. But the Democrats are too friggin' dumb to get that through their heads. And we got to stop looking at each other, and I got to stop doing it too. We got to stop looking at each other's parties as enemies. We're not enemies. All right, everybody, that's the end of my show. I will be back Monday, bright and early at noon, because as you know, Monday through Friday, noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch me, Jersey Joe, on the Reaver of Common Sense. Don't forget, Wednesday nights at noon, or Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Jersey Boys, me and Jersey Crash, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. on Reaver After Dark. All right, everybody. Till Monday. Have a good weekend and be safe.